Everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In the Mixer, episode number 54 of our Pentagon challenge. Thank you so much to everyone who watched the last episode, who gave feedback in the comments section, who voted over on Twitter. It helped me a tremendous amount. Hopefully it helped you guys as well. Commanding victory from people wanting us to sign with AS Monaco. So you've probably already seen from the thumbnail, you've probably already seen from the flags up there above my head. That's where we're going to go this season. I think it was about 84% in the end on Twitter of people thought we should go with Monaco. The comments section was pretty much all people saying that beating PSG would be fantastic. Shout out to Harry, shout out to David, shout out to everybody else that got involved over there as well. I do very much appreciate it. So we've got not only to knock off PSG after 25 straight league titles in France, we've also got to try and get into the Champions League. We've also got to try and then win that competition. So we're going to try and fire through as many seasons as we can between now and the FM22 beta release, which is probably going to be in about 2 weeks. So potentially we're going to try and get you guys some daily episodes to try and catch up that time a little bit as well. But not a lot else that we have to do other than jump straight in and see how we've gotten on. So getting into the game, we pretty much kicked back off from where we were last time out. So we're got this contract offer, 27.5k per week, 38.5 million transfer budget, 1.4 million per week in wage budget to join Monaco. We are going to start negotiations for it. I do want to try and get a longer term deal, so I'm going to drop down my wage demands very, very low to see if I can get it. They're happy with that. So 4-year contract, but only on 10k a week. It's less than half of what they offered me originally. Plenty of money. £10,000. Do you know how much that is in Australian dollars? It's ridiculous. That does mean, though, that we're going to take that job at the end of the season. So their season's going to play out effectively. And we won't really jump in until kind of like June, July areas when it transitions over to the new year. So we'll get a full preseason program. We'll get a full transfer window as well. So what we might do now is magic editing. We're going to jump forward to that date. All right, so we've arrived in Monaco, and as you can see, I've taken to the lifestyle. Like, not paying tax is a dream. Like, why didn't we move to this principality sooner? So their reputation's 4-star, not too bad, pretty excellent. Actually, we should be able to bring in most players from around the world without too many dramas. Media prediction's 3rd, which is interesting. Still playing as Star Louis, only 20,000 capacity. Excellent training facilities, excellent youth, exceptional youth recruitment. That stuff is all very exciting. Most recent Uber Eats title, or League One Uber Eats, I'm just going to call it the Uber Eats title, in 2017. I think they were the last team to actually beat PSG to the title. And then 25 years since, it doesn't look like they've really won anything in this in-game universe either, which is interesting. No continental triumphs to speak of either. And they finished 6th in the division last season. So I don't know if that means there is any European football taking place, but we'll find out. All right, 5-year plan. End of current season, they're not judging the Champions Cup. They're not judging the Euro Cup. I don't know what any of that means. Did we make the Champions League or not? They're not judging the League One Uber Eats. They're not judging the French Cup. Okay, so they're end of next season, they want us to qualify for the Champions Cup, which I think is the top 4 spots. There's a few players here who don't look particularly crash hot, 2.5-star ability. We're immediately going to set them for release. And here is the big challenge. Wants to move to a bigger club. Lars Skutelis, who's an important player, is a striker, an advanced forward or complete forward who can lead the line. He looks quite good. Mohamed Sherkow, let's go with that. Ex-PSG player, another decent winger, probably amongst the best players that they've got. That is I'm less enthusiastic about losing him. He looks quite good. And then wants a new contract, Nabil Baramia, who doesn't look too bad. Central defender, ball-playing defender, not too bad, but a left-footed option, so that's good to have. All right, so what actually happened this season? So they finished in 6th spot, a while out of Champions League qualification, but we have qualified for the Euro Cup, so we will have some continental football. Went out of the European Champions Cup in the group stages in a group with PSV, Bayern and Lazio in 3rd spot. Euro Cup knocked out in the first knockout round by AC Milan, which is interesting. And French Cup knocked out in the 11th round by PSG. Okay, so their schedule, their results haven't been great. They started very, very poorly, it must be said. Through to November, I think they had more defeats than they had wins. And then not too bad in December, before this rough spell where they played Lyon, Rennes, PSG in succession. That's a tough run of form. But then dropped points against like Dijon, Montpellier, a lot of clubs that you'd think they should be beating. Lorient beat them. They only drew with Nice and Brest. And not a terrible run home, to be completely honest either. Only 1 defeat kind of in their last 10 games or so. So they've got quality, they've got ability. Is that around when I got announced, around March? Maybe that was what they needed, just a bit of inspiration to actually try and get some good results together. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the squad. We're going to kind of evaluate all of the players here. You can see, based on ability, they're not the greatest team in the world. They have got quite a few, I think, good young prospects coming through though that I think should be getting first team football. These 5-star kind of potential or 4.5-star potential players, we should be trying to work them into the lineup wherever we can. And then they're relatively solid otherwise. They've got a couple of Brazilian players, a good mix of nationalities in here. There will be players that we need to recruit for. There will be positions that we need to recruit for. So what we might do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to put the tactics together. I'm going to assess the squad and see where we want to improve, where we want to try and bring people in, where we want to try and get rid of people. And we might have a look at staff and stuff as well, because there's a boatload of staff opportunities available for different people that want it. So there's work to be done. So we might do all that stuff. I might also jump forward a little bit and do some of our pre-season fixtures, that sort of thing, as we tick over into the new year. And then maybe we'll come back for like a game in the early part of next season. Magic of editing though, when I jump forward to that now. All right, just like that, we're back. Now, full disclosure, in the real world, it is the next day, but that allowed me to add this fetching polo to the current Monaco ensemble that we've got going on. Now, we have jumped forward quite a bit. We've played all of the off-season, all of our pre-season friendlies. We've got a bunch of stuff that we're going to try and quickly recap for you guys so the episode doesn't drag on too long, because we kind of want to introduce you guys to the squad as well. We've had some ins, we've had some outs. If we look at our transfer history, we've spent 80 million bringing players in. The majority of that money is spent bringing in players that had like release clauses and things like that. We tried to bring in a combination of French internationals and wonder kids. I'm not going to stick with wonder kids forever though. In the sales department, we've actually managed to raise 164 million. That has spiked up quite a bit because this Andrew Slate guy we literally just sold like 2 days ago. He was our captain. I probably wanted to keep him, if I'm being completely honest, but his head was turned. He was causing some problems. Once you've lost the top of your social hierarchy or your team leaders and all that sort of stuff, sometimes you do kind of just have to get rid of them. But otherwise, we've actually raised a fair bit of cash getting rid of players who I don't necessarily think were necessarily going to start, particularly in the shape and formation that we're going to put together. So before we go in, let's have a look at that shape and formation. And this is what we're going with. We're going with this 4-4-2. I know that might seem super basic, and there's a truth to that. We were going to try and do this like 3-4-3 that was here. I was also trying to figure something out relating to like this sort of 3-4-3, which is very pretty looking. But the results in pre-season and the personnel available to us kind of meant that it wasn't really viable for us to kind of go through and play with the 3 up top striker system. The 4-4-2 is what I'm going to go with because potentially this is the last save of FM21 and I have loved this shape and formation throughout the course. But I've been using it mainly on network saves with friends and stuff like that. It is derivative of a couple of other tactics. FM Trick Autista did a great 4-4-2 throughout the course of the season that worked really well. Omega Luke did like a spotlight on a 4-4-2, which is fantastic. And then the big one, probably the most influential on this particular tactic, is Clates, who does some live streaming and some YouTube stuff. We will try and put links in the description below to their tactics. What he's done really well, something that I'm terrible at, is like set piece like kind of setups and all that sort of thing relating specifically to this tactic. So again, I do like to enjoy creating my own tactics, but sometimes if you've got other players out there that have also played like 1,000 hours of a game with a particular tactic, it's good to take their feedback on board because they've also been testing effectively for you, and that's kind of the collective pool of minds that goes into the FM21 community. So it is pretty straightforward. It's pretty short passing. We do go a little bit more direct though. We do try and get the ball out quickly in transition. The 2 wingers will be the main creative hub in this shape and formation. The DLP will do a lot from set piece scenarios, from basically trying to get the ball forward as quickly as possible. The box to box just adds additional stuff in there. The defense is pretty straightforward. The wingbacks will join in on the second phase of attack. Pressing forward, attacking forward up front, fantastic. Had a great save with Edinburgh City, a great save with St. Pauli early on in the beta, and then another fantastic save with Fulham. All network saves amongst friends, and this shape and formation and that 2 up top combination worked really fantastically well. So I'm excited to see how it goes. And it is effectively very similar kind of instructions for attacking in transition and out of possession that you've seen all throughout this series. It's largely the same tactic, just maybe a little bit of a variation on some of the shapes and some of the instructions. Now the squad, I won't take you through everyone. Won't be the lineup today, but I think this is our strongest lineup that we have available. We've got a few new faces. We've brought in some Argentine players, and we might start there as well. You can only have 4 non-EU players in your squad in France, which is quite a challenge, but there were quite a few players that we were able to bring across from South America that effectively have really good release clauses that we were actually able to pay out. We'll start at the bottom. Larry Costa on a free. He is excellent. I don't know how he was able to come to us on a free. I just don't think he'd sign a new contract with Nacional. In Colombia, 3.5-star, left-footed, sweeper keeper, superb. He'll come straight in to be our starting goalkeeper this season. I don't know how we were able to get him on a free. Absolutely ridiculous that a wonder kid is available that early. He immediately goes to £9.5 million value. perfect. Wonderful to have him on board. He'll be our starting keeper. Lee Gordon and Ahmed El-Kabi, they won't necessarily start. We just had some cash, and I thought if I can take these players off PSG and weaken them a little bit, fantastic. But it turned out they're not terrible players, but they're not great. I don't think we win the league with them or anything like that. But for Lee Gordon, 59 goals for 100 appearances for PSG too. That's not terrible. He's got 5 goals in the first team as well. So he can contribute as a third choice striker, a fourth choice striker, whatever it ends up being. El-Kabi's just a young player. Brazilian, we brought in Valba, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. Excited about him. He'll probably play as a pressing forward because I think he's got the stats to do it quite well. Good aggression, good anticipation, really good determination and flair, excellent finishing, excellent first touch. I think with some development, some time, he could turn into a properly special player. And at 19, we've got about a year and a half, I reckon, before we start seeing him hit his ceiling and potentially need to be replaced. Lucas Rosati joins. It says he's Argentinian because he's got a cap now, but he was Italian when we purchased him, so he does qualify as an EU player, which is fantastic for our registration rules. Again, another forward. We've got a very good starting forward, so he'll probably be the third choice as an advanced forward on that right-hand side. Has some very good traits, attributes, just needs to tighten up his finishing, and then I think he'll be a player that can really go to the next level. Shaiko Garoldi has joined. He's a left-footed central defender. He will play on the left-hand side of our back four once everyone is fully fit and ready to go. Very, very good player. You can see here already got 15s, 16s for a lot of the key attributes for that role. The one that needs a little bit of improvement is tackling, but we might potentially use him as a covering defender, so he doesn't have to tackle that much if we need to. Excellent determination, excellent physical traits at 19 years of age. I think he's going to grow and develop throughout the course of this season as well. He joins from Newell's Old Boys, so there's potential that we also coached against him previously. I don't think he would have played, or I'd probably remember it, but another guy joins us from Argentina. Louis Metral we picked up from San Jose in America. He was at Vélez before that, so there is potential we coached against him as well. A left-footed wing-back. We may transition to be a right-back because he's got a very strong right foot as well. Just a solid player. We needed someone on that left-hand side. The quality that was at the club is not fantastic, so we really need to nail down those full-back spots. And we've done that with Metral on the left, and then over on the right-hand side, Federico Maidana. Again, we paid his release clause to get him across from Racing Club. Argentine under-20 international, some excellent attributes, really good balance, really good stamina, some excellent mental attributes as well. 16 determination, 18 bravery, a little bit of work to do in what he does with the ball, particularly in this wing-back role, which is his preferred, but his crossing dribbling just needs a little bit of work. And I think we can give him time at 19 to try and get that ready to go. In worst case scenario, it doesn't work out, and we can push him on for a profit because we just paid out his release clause. Oldest of the group, Nasser Baha has come across. He's a French legend, proper tier legend. I think he's sitting in between Zinedine Zidane and Thierry Henry in the list of legends for the French national team. A DLP on defend. Originally, I brought him in to be at the base of that 3-4-3 we were going to use, but now we're going to transition him to be at the base of our 4-4-2 midfield. He doesn't need to run a lot, and that's really where his downside is. He's got good natural fitness, good balance still, excellent mental attributes, excellent technical ability as well. 16 first touch, 17 passing, 16 technique. It's hard to read these in these sunglasses, to be honest, but just an exceptional player. At 35, we'll probably only get maybe a year out of him, but hopefully he helps build the club's reputation a little bit, and we can start to develop or bring in more players of a higher quality and calibre. Mohamed Kedim, similar scenario, full French international at the moment, was in the national team, was up for sale at Slavia Prague. I thought we have to kind of jump in and bring him in. He probably won't start, to be completely transparent, because I've got some other younger players I want to get in, but he's got really good pace, really good agility, excellent technical ability, excellent mental ability, perfect squad player. The only question around him is if we can keep him happy as being a squad player. That will be the big challenge. And then the guy that will probably start most of the games on the right-hand side, Arno van Hout, Belgian 18-year-old, joins from Club Bruges. Full wonder kid. I saw 20 for first touch and I freaked out. I saw 16 acceleration, 16 pace, 16 stamina, 19 agility, and thought we need to get this guy out there on the park as soon as possible. 17 passing at 18 years of age, ridiculous. 16 determination, I think he's going to hit the very tippity top of the game. So we want to grab him now at 3 stars and hopefully give him a full season and he'll get to a 4-star, 5-star player before we know it. So very excited to see what Arno van Hout does. That's a signing in. We've got a couple of other big names as well. Lars Skatellis, I'll show you guys, advanced forward, 4-star ability, full Swedish international, looks absolutely fantastic and has been my one ally in the changing room that I've had consistently through pre-season. Everyone's been getting upset, but he's been at Monaco now a good few seasons. He clearly cares about the club quite a bit. And he's been promoted to captain as well. So hopefully he's on my side now and I can continue kind of like developing a bit of a bond with him. Looks to be an excellent prospect. Sherkow is the biggest player at the club. He wants to leave desperately. Chelsea have been bidding on him. Thomas Tuchel's still at Chelsea, 22 through 23 years in the future, whatever we are. But this is the star of the club. He's absolutely fantastic. 20 agility, 16 acceleration, 18 jumping reach, 17 natural fitness, 16 pace, physically a beast, technically 16 crossing, 18 dribbling, 16 flair. Just he's the best player that I think we've had at any point throughout the course of this save and this series. So I just want to get him. Kind of one of the reasons I think we moved to the 4-4-2 is to just get him in his preferred role, which is a winger on the left-hand side. Let's just have him running at people. Let's have him getting balls into the box. Let's see what he can do for us in terms of being like a proper world-class player that we've now finally got access to. And then at the back, the last one I'll show you guys, Nabil Baramia, Algerian central defender, 76 caps to his name, despite only being 24 years of age. He'll probably finish his career, I think, with about 300 caps, if that's the case. An excellent ball-playing defender. Again, he's a lefty. So maybe he probably shouldn't start on the right, but we're probably going to do that. He's suspended for the first game though, which is a massive shame because there is a bit of a drop off in the quality of some of the backups that we've got. There aren't that many players in this backup list that you would say are kind of like dead set going to start the majority of the games when they're fit, when they're available, when they're ready to go. And to start the season, as we check our pre-season results, we've got we've got Olympique Marseille, who are one of the better teams in the division. In fact, if we look at the season preview, you can see we're down in fourth spot, $21 favourites, level with them. Lyon are in second spot and PSG $1.30. So it's a big ask as far as pre-season odds are concerned. Even more so when you kind of have a look at the Media Dream 11, it is pretty much entirely the PSG squad. There's two players, one from Nice, Primatera, that you can see here, who funnily enough came through at River Plate. He looks to be quite good. How did they pick him up? They got him on a free transfer 2 years ago, so I probably let him go, if that's the case, which probably wasn't the smartest thing in the world to do because he's turned into quite the player. And then Pablo Chacon, who we're going to play against in today's game against Marseille. So they've got some very, very good players. But PSG, we're going to be the ones that we have to watch and keep an eye on. But I really just want to get the season started and ready to go because we'll probably try and fly through a fair chunk of the season this week. Oh, before we do that though, quick recap. We're expected to qualify for the Euro Cup, which is the top 6 spots for the season ahead. The Euro Cup, we want to reach the quarter final of, which I think is achievable. And then the French Cup, they want us to reach the final 4, which could be a challenge. It just depends on how the draw goes. But we'll see how that all plays out throughout the course of the season as well. All right, so first lineup of the season, it's a little bit kind of disjointed at the moment because Brahmi is out suspended and Baha has a bit of a knock, which I don't want to risk at 35. I just want to kind of get him fit and ready to go. We will see how some of these different relationships slowly kind of develop throughout the course of the season. There were a couple of local wonder kids I forgot to mention. Calvet could be excellent for us. Already a wonder kid. We're going to try and get him working in this box-to-box role, which he's got most of the attributes to do quite well. It'll just be how, like, what's his application like? His determination's not anything mind-blowing. His concentration and stuff isn't either, but physically he's quite good, so I'm hopeful he can be successful in that role. And then the other one, who I didn't actually put in the squad today, Fred Mongonza, 19-year-old. He turns 20 relatively quickly. That's why he doesn't start, but physically, 16 pace, 18 acceleration, 17 aggression, 19 flair. Off the bench, he will absolutely torch some teams. I don't think he's better than Van Hout. Those are the two that are kind of going to be going back and forward for that right wing position. But if he impresses off the bench, if we get consistent production out of him, it's going to be very tough to keep him out of the lineup, I think. And I might put Mongonza on the bench. I think that's probably a smart thing to do. All right, first team talk with the group. Nobody expects us to get a result. A couple have responded positively. Again, I'm going to do old consistent. Just tell everyone I've got faith in them. They all seem motivated. Any point, like even if we get a point away at Marseille, who I think are going to be one of the better teams of the division, that would be fantastic for us. I'm not going to say we're going to come out and win immediately. I don't think our squad is that strong. And I think at the moment, there's a gap between, we can get like an 11 and wonder kids easily if we wanted to, but I really want to kind of try and push this team to start getting in like world-class players. And I want to finish this series playing with some of the best players in the world. We've potentially got one in Cherku over on the left-hand side, but can we get other pieces to kind of add around alongside him? First highlight of the match, and I might have to actually lift these up because I can't see the ball. Madana with the ball on the right-hand side, tries to get it across to Legrand. Good reverse pass to Sherkow, and he's found the goal. Is it going to stand, though? The assistant linesman has stopped. They're going to go have a look at VAR. I think this is going to get ruled out, but 5 minutes in. No, goal awarded. I've never seen that before. That's crazy. All right, first time for everything. Legrand with the ball into Shirku. It's a good strike on his wrong foot as well. Shakon, the keeper that we saw in the Dream 11, can't get to it. And he peels away to the corner flag. Come on, I need to get him back on board because Chelsea bid on him and he's been upset ever since. If I can get him happy and playing good football, we could be in for a good season. They're in possession here again. Van Hout closing down. It's a good ball in, to be fair. And Sandro Veloso gets his first goal of the season. Mark Grocott with the assist. We'll check it out here from 3 dimensions. It starts from a throw-in like so many highlights do in this year's version of the game. Capelli, back to Grocott. Tries to hang a ball in. It's a good ball in, to be fair. In between Metral and Garoldi, the two defenders in there. Two of the players, or the young Argentines that we brought in this season. And they do recover quite quickly. They've got a corner here as well. Veloso goes back stick. Calvet can come the other direction. And can we get the ball over to the far side? Because we have got players bursting forward. Skatelis gets goal side. He goes the drive just into the side netting. I think he had Shaq on beat there. Veloso, deep free kick. Oh, he's gotten it back and he goes the drive again. Acosta pushes it out for the corner kick. End-to-end highlights here in the opening kind of 15 minutes. Veloso towards backstick. Metral flicks on the header. Aguilar. There's Skatelis. Now Calvet, and it's cleared by Madonna. Good clearance, to be fair. Absolutely walloped it out down the line. And statistically speaking, we are on top, but we haven't seen as many highlights. They've definitely come back into it over the last kind of 10-15 minutes. And our depth is definitely going to be tested as we try and make subs and changes in the second half. So we want to try and stay in the game as long as we can. Good challenge there. Van Hout now. Forward to Maidana. Sends a good ball out the line to Skatelis. He's got a square ball there to Valba. He doesn't play it though. It's a good challenge. Puts it out for the corner kick. Now Chirkow to take. In swinging corner. It's not a great delivery and they managed to get it cleared pretty comfortably. We are through 30 minutes, so we're going to hit just a man more really quick. Ball back here to Acosta, starting the highlight. Van Hout with the flick on headers, not great. And a long ball forward finds Barroso, gold side. Good save from Acosta again, who's come up with a couple of good saves, albeit from wide areas. Veloso with the set piece. Acosta comes out and claims. Can we go the other direction? No, the highlight just comes to an end after that corner. All right, so at half time, 1-1 both sides. Marseille, 8 shots, 4 on target, 1.09 XG and 50% possession. For Monaco, 10 shots, 2 on target, 0.92 XG and 50% of the ball. I'm just going to say I'm happy with the performance so far. Keep it up. Everyone seems inspired and motivated. That's exactly what we need. I need to get people on my side. I need to get people keen to play football for this club. Legrand with the ball in. Back stick towards Valba. He gets his first goal of the season and a debut goal for him. It's a great ball in there from Legrand as well, who's not our starting deep line playmaker, but if he keeps going with set piece delivery like this, he might get future opportunities in the game. And excellent to see a little Brazilian wonder kid getting a goal on debut as well. Just as I've said that, Skatelis has picked up a knock. We're going to bring on Lucas Rosati for him. Italian-born Argentine. There are a couple of yellow cards here, which I'm conscious of as well. So what we might do is, let's bring on Fred Mongonza, homegrown wonder kid, and let's hold off on that last sub just until maybe like the 75th minute. And we'll see if anyone else picks up any yellow cards or if there's anything else. I feel like if I do all 3 subs, we'll definitely go down to 10 men. I'm going to throw a demand more shout out there with 30 minutes remaining. And can we see out a famous victory? For PSG, Mercado has just scored. Aldo Mercado, who actually played for us at Club America, which is bonkers. Wait until you see some of his stats now when we play PSG. Good run there from Veloso. We do manage to get it away. Highlight doesn't continue, thankfully, but by the skin of our teeth there. Legrand from the set piece goes direct on goal. It's a good save from Chacon, and they do manage to clear it away. Legrand's had a good little game. A couple of assists. That chance that he's created there for himself as well. We're going to hit pause with 10 minutes remaining. We're just going to go based on condition. Shirkow, not playing poorly, but we're going to make a different change. Alcabi's going to come on. You can see he's only 1.5 star. I kind of regret buying him from PSG, but it is what it is. He's going to come off for Calvet, who's on a yellow card and also struggling for a little bit of fitness. So we'll give him his debut, and we're just going to throw one more demand more shout out there with about 10 minutes to go. Ball back across back stick. It's headed back across. Yusfi was there. Acosta with a great save. Tries to go long with the clearance. It's not the best option. Overlapping ball here, finds Smet, and it's a good save again from Acosta. Oh no, it's not. It's a goal kick. He just missed it himself. Huge, huge chance for Marseille, which they may end up regretting as we get into 5 additional minutes to be added on. Short free kick at the base of midfield. Garoldi into Legrand. Ball out now to Chirkow. Can beat a man. Gets into the box. Looks to hang it back stick. It's headed away. They're going to look to try and come the other direction. They've gone a long ball over the top to Veloso. It's a great tracking run there from Garoldi. Good save from the keeper, and he manages to bail him out and get it away. We're through the 5 minutes now. It's a pretty good away performance. I'm not going to lie. That's a better win than I was expecting for this early in the season. And I'm going to say that was really special, lads. Nobody gave you a chance and you played absolutely magnificently. And we don't go top, but we do go into the top 4 positions, which is what we want to see. PSG, just a 1-0 victory for them as well. I will show you Aldo Mercado because he's absolutely magnificent. He wasn't this good. He didn't start for us. Tonico started ahead of him. But now look at how he's kind of like turned out. Physically amazing, mentally amazing, technically brilliant, 5-star advanced forward, who they've only had for 2 years, £31 million they eventually purchased him for from Club America. Just ridiculous stuff. We paid his release fee, if you remember correctly. Or if I remember correctly, I guess. Oh, here you go. You've seen a bid go in for Matthew Ugwu, who I want to try and bring in. I just want a right-footed central defender. So I've placed a bid on him. He's quite good from Chelsea. We'll see if that one goes through, I guess, in the next episode. Actually, what are we going to do with this season? I think what we're going to do, and this is out of character a little bit, we're going to jump forward to the end of the season. And we're going to try and bring you guys either the conclusion to the league season, depending on how and when we finish, the conclusion of the Euro Cup, depending on how we perform in that game, or the conclusion of the French Cup. We desperately need to get back in the Champions League. And that's one of the reasons why I think we jump forward this season, to get ourselves back in that Champions League competition. Because even if we get the Euro Cup, it doesn't count. It doesn't go on the graphic or anything. The only thing that might come up is, let's say we have a phenomenal year and towards the top of the table, if we're in a league title battle and a first league title that hasn't gone to PSG in 25 years, a quarter of a century. Do I want to try and bring you guys more of that? But I'm thinking the focus of this series is mainly around continental competitions and trying to get the Pentagon complete before FM22 comes out. So I think we are going to jump ahead to the end of the season and play a bit offline, which might mean it's a day or two until our next episode. We'll see how that plays out. As always, guys, thank you so much. Oh, hang on, I'll put these back on. Hang on, before we get started. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is the part that I appreciate the most. If you want to help celebrate this series, us getting this Monaco job, thank you, of course, to everyone that voted in the polls on Twitter, and let me know in the comment section below on the last episode. I do appreciate all that stuff. But if you want to help celebrate, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Continue watching as we build towards the conclusion of the season. I know people get FM21 fatigue, but I'm super excited to load up this save each day. And we will try and get you guys as many episodes as we can between now and the beta starting for FM22. But more than anything, as always, thank you so much for watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you guys again in the mixer.